Howdy y'all. I am getting this pumpkin ready to carve, so I thought I would give you a few of my tips for preparing a pumpkin for carving. So the first one is, after you pick your pumpkin, you want to decide which side is going to be the front. So I picked this side. It's nice and smooth. As you can see, this other side has some imperfections and blemishes, so I wanted to pick the side that's nice and smooth and it has a relatively flat surface for me to carve. It'd be easy for me to carve. So I've chosen this to be the front. Now I want to mark a circle around the rim for where I want to cut my top, my lid. So I have used this little tool right here. It's a spiky little roundy wheel tool, although you can individually punch all these little dots. And I've just drove this around the top in a circle and got, my pattern of how I want to cut the lid off. And over here I have made a little tab. It's not a perfect circle. I put this little tab on there because that will help me find which way to place the lid of my jack-o'-lantern after I remove it. So I'm going to use one of these larger saws, and I am going to be sure, and I'm going to put the saw in kind of, more horizontally than vertically, because if you do it like straight in like this and you go all the way around like that, then your lid will fall into your pumpkin. Like after you have a candle in there for a day, the lid part will dry up and it will kind of just get smaller and fall right in. So you want to be sure and put your little saw or knife or whatever kind of horizontally, and you want to be sure and try and keep it that way as you saw around. So I'm just going to saw around on my dotted line. It's always good to use a serrated knife because it really cuts it a lot better and it's a lot safer to just cut with small little strokes with the serrated knife instead of trying to really force a smooth blade through the pumpkin. Okay, now I'm going to cut my little tab out. This is just for ease of putting the lid back on, so you can find which way to turn it. I'm going to be sure and keep it kind of flat in there because you do not want it to fall in. Okay, so I have sawed all the way around, and now I'm going to lift the lid off. And there's all the seeds. So that's what we have this little tool for. You can scrape the seeds off, or you can just pull them off, or a lot of times I'll use one of these little saws and just kind of make this flat. Kind of smooth that off a little bit. Alright, now another thing I want to do, earlier I marked this should be right at the back, and I'm going to cut a little hole out. But since I happen to have this tool, I haven't never used these before, so we're going to try this. wonder if that just, I don't know if it went all the way through. Should go through this way too. There we go. Okay, so this little vent hole right here will be really good when you have a candle down in the pumpkin. This will let some of the heat out, and it will kind of keep from cooking your pumpkin and making it shrink. So now, all that's left to do to prepare our pumpkin for carving is to just clean all these seeds out. And if you don't have one of these little pumpkin scrapers, you know, a spoon works just fine. And some people really like pumpkin seeds, and they will toast the pumpkin seeds. Let's see what we got here. Like, they'll clean these up and toast them. But, you know, I've never really liked pumpkin seeds, so I don't bother. I just throw these away. But these are really full of seeds. Sometimes you get more strings, and sometimes you get more seeds. And these this one at least has lots and lots of seeds. So yeah, just got to keep on cleaning all the little pumpkin yucky out. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll get a paper towel and get the rest here in a little bit. But I always want to be sure and make like a flat place in the bottom of the pumpkin for my candle to sit. So I just take this little thing and just really scrape the bottom and make a nice flat spot for my candle. Get all that stuff out. Okay, so that's pretty clean and pretty much ready to go. And here is our lid. And as you can see, we can easily fit it on because of the little notch. Just pop it on there. And now we are ready to carve this pumpkin. It is ready to be carved. I still need to clean it out just a little bit, but what my next step is going to be will be, I'll take my pattern. This is the pattern I've chosen, and I kind of cut it out a little bit, and I will tape it onto here so it will be on there real good. And then I will take this little roly thing and I will go around the pattern, and then I'll take this off, and the pattern should be here on the pumpkin, and I will cut it out. So when I'm done, I will let you see. So thanks for joining me on my pumpkin carving or pumpkin preparing tips. And until next time, y'all be sweet.